Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the daily trend for week 37, day 1. It is September 12th, 2016. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only to support your knowledge in the market. See what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. Well, welcome, guys. Short week last week, and as we roll into today, wow, what a day after Friday's collapse in the market. We were just back in the opposite direction today. If this is your first time on this video, for the next 15 minutes, we'll go through a variety of the indices and futures markets, see where the current trend is, what happened today, where were the best of setups, and my trading strategy thrown in there. If you're interested in stopping by the trading room to check it out, feel free, send me an email, david@tradingfibs.com, and we'll get you in towards the end of the week. Well, let's jump right into the session. As we saw today, daily results. Oh boy, that's right. I have never had a day like this. 14 setups on one session, but look at those ticks, guys. Friday session was in no way comparison today as far as ticks were concerned, but sure, as far as trend was concerned, we did a complete turnaround today. Did not plan all the indices on Friday, but absolutely got a piece of the action today on both the NQ and the YM. Again, as usual, I'm not a big ES trader, but if I can get a bite, I will bite, and got a little piece of that. We'll take a look, and it was all about the Fed speakers today. Econ data, nothing much except, yep, there it was. Market soared today, so there were our setups. Across the board, some big numbers from the NQ and the YM, and the ES managing to get in a couple ticks along the way. All right, let's jump into the charts. As tweeted out last night, Sunday night, markets were already coming down after that session on Friday. Markets open up on Sunday night, coming to the downside. Markets continued to move down as well overnight. 5 charts in the red all across the board. Multiple moving averages all on the chart showing direction downside. And then the turnaround. Here we are pre-market, as we saw price action getting a little lift off the midnight opens, and price action already running in the green here before the market, and there it was. Never looked back. 5 charts in the green, T3 moving averages all upside. You couldn't help yourself but want to jump on all 3 if you could hit the button quick enough, and there we were. It was once price action continued rolling along, you're managing, you're taking pictures of your screenshots, and just trying to get a piece on all the indices and trying the best to manage them up on the way up. And when you take a big picture and you take a look back, bigger picture, and you take a step back, there was the trend of the day. That's right. All I had to go was from a 10.7 to a higher time frame, and all you got is price action pretty much above the T350. Again, eliminates a lot of that chop and noise when you go ahead and pull back, and again, appreciate the trend and actually able to manage it a little bit better. But there it was on the 51.44. Again, another market internal on the 3-minute chart here. Price action you can see bouncing off the 50 EMAs. What a sight, what a pick today. Again, all these pictures are available on the blog site if you guys want to check them out a little bit later. All right, there was the big picture for the AM session. Price action here, multiple entries. Again, was being prudent to stay in the trade as long as possible. Exit on any possible reversal. 2 contracts at a time. I know, 2 contracts. Some of you think that's too little. Well, hey, the strategy is the same. You want to trade with 20 contracts, you go for it. I'm speaking to the average trader trading out there with 2 contracts, just trying to get in a little bit of a run, and there we were. 2 contracts up, 2 contracts off. All along the way, price action on all 3 indices. Finally, at some point, just letting it go, trading the YM for the rest of the day, but had some nice runners there on all 3 indices. All right, let's check out the ES here. A nice move. Almost was going to that fib projection level. Again, exited on the red candles. Again, if I had stayed on the higher time frame, I know I would have been able to stay in a little bit longer, but that's hindsight. Again, stayed with the current trend as I usually do. Price action holding for the most part above the T350 and managing and re-entering on the opportunities. The upside, actually, price action ended up coming and hitting that fib projection level and even higher. Well, hypotheticals. What would happen if you started to learn how to look at the bigger time frame? Again, this is a 6-3. You could have gone to a 10-7, but looking at the ES every day as we do on a 5-4 flex Renko, here it was on a 6-3. Initial setup down here, and then letting it ride all the way to the end would have gained you 36.25 points today. No matter how many contracts you were running, that's a nice healthy trend for the day. Complete reversal of Friday, but hey, trend is trend, even in the opposite direction. So just appreciate you could have moved and managed to stop up to each former swing size and ride it all the way up, or you stick to your trading plan, whatever time frame you are on. You don't know that price action is going to continue to move in this direction. Again, it's just going back and appreciating the bigger time frame and implementing that on your charts, and I'll show you how we do that. All right, taking a look at the YM. Again, here's your YM session. Again, put most of my energy in the YM in the afternoon session. Again, there were a couple of moving averages, a couple of key lines that I wasn't going to wait. Well, I was going to wait until they broke through, but again, at that point, doing a lot of setups for one session. Usually look for 1 to 2 setups. Today was more than that, and so trying to run with all three indices in the afternoon a little exhausting, so decided to go ahead and run with the YM. So nice clean entries all across the board, buy signals, waiting for price action to maybe break through a key level, a Globex high, a 25-minute open range, perhaps a Fibonacci target level, whatever it was. Maybe you had to wait a couple bars, but then again, managing all the way up on multiple contracts, going for big ticks today. Here was the NQ big picture. Again, this was around post-lunch close and pretty much closed it out in the NQ for the remainder of the day. So at the end of the day, we had majority of the NQ trades in the morning session. Same thing on the ES here. Decided to let the ones in the afternoon go. And then price action here, as we could see, a lifting to the upside in the PM on the YM and closing out up here, getting those last runs in. All right, that's the big picture all around. Let's take a look at the individual charts as we see here. AD line again running upside, nice move. AD line clean again, making some short stops along the way. 750 0, a little pause, comes back, comes up here to the 750 and just breaks out and plateaus out for the rest of the day. How do we do Fibonacci target wise? That's right, 3 and 3 across all the board. Volume profile looking very clean, almost like Friday's session, just in the reverse. 600-day VPOC here on the crude at 45.90. Daily gaps, nothing to talk about, but take a look at that nice clean move right up to yesterday's high, being Friday session almost there. Didn't close out any gaps all across the board. All right, let's take a look again as we just saw on the daily trends and other charts. Crude again with some nice moves to the upside above the T350s. Buy signal to the upside on forward charts, almost five charts in the green here. Late afternoon move here as price action lifted after a pullback to T350, pretty much chopped out. So your best entry was here in the AM session on the crude. Gold again, not till the late afternoon, getting a lift above on the T350 here to the upside. And taking a look at the bonds, very quiet across the board again. Late afternoon session here. Buy signal above the T350. Watching the Globex high as it rejected back here prior. All right, taking a look at the YM chart. Got to appreciate the price action to the upside in one big trend. Again, if you're not, if you're getting a little wheezy on all the noise on the chart, just go ahead to a higher time frame and you eliminate a lot of that pullback. Again, nice picture overall trend on the NQ to the upside as we saw multiple entries. Again, on the ES, pretty much set out the afternoon session. Got a little piece of the morning action on the ES. But again, here we saw a 5-4. You got to see a little bit of chop. Let me switch to our 6-3 chart. And again, once you see on the 6-3 chart, again, you eliminate a lot of that chop and it gives you an opportunity to remain in the trend even that much longer. All right, jumping over to chart number 2 as we see and watch the EMD, the Midcap 400 here, S&P Midcap 400. Again, if the 6-3 wasn't working for you, could have gone to the 10-7, but let's go ahead and show you that. There you go, a little bit less noise, a little bit less chop with sell signals, buy signals. Again, you're going with the highest probability entry. There was the buy signal on 5 charts in the green up here, and then again, back in the late afternoon up to the upside, uptrend. Take a look at the 6E Euro, not much price action as we got a little bit of sideways action, but again, nice little lift here. Buy signal again, pretty much Globex session bound. Taking a look here at the 6J, we can see price action on the yen getting a little bit of lift here and then falling back down. So again, a little bit of range bound session. 5 charts in the green giving you a lift upside. You might have taken the short here, a little bit higher risk entry, looking for either entries above or below the T350. Beans without with its report today, sell signal coming down, higher probability entry down here towards the late afternoon. Take a look at the NG Natty Gas as price action buy signal in the AM session. Here's the better setup. Price action again finally leads into 5 charts in the green. Moves upside to the Globex high. Nice move on the Natty Gas uptrend, and Platinum again. Nice move. Buy signal upside. You're not looking for every in and out. You're looking for the longer trend and be happy with what you have. Don't get greedy. All right, as we mentioned before, one of the changes on the chart is to implement those higher time frames, as we saw here on the T3 moving averages on a higher time frame. It's the 2 charts here in the middle, and implementing them on the main trading chart. Again, once you have these moving averages, starts to look a little bit busier if you didn't have these moving averages. Again, and when you look at the NQ here and you look at it on the daily trend, as we saw back here, again, a lot of those moving averages not present. So it's up to you what time frame you want to watch it on, but it's nice to have all the moving averages. Actually, you can go ahead and eliminate the 3 bottom charts, but the visual of all the charts in the green helps. But again, these moving averages up above. And as we said today, a lot of noise on the charts on the NQ. Again, looking for the higher probability entry on the break above. So if the smaller time frame is not working for you, and you want to go to a 15-tick chart, again, now you've eliminated a lot of the noise, and there you are, price action running upside enough to keep you in. And if the 15-tick chart doesn't work for you, how about a 20-tick chart riding up above all the T3 moving averages, 1-minute chart, etc. Again, we're looking at the, sorry about that, let's get that chart back up there. There you go. So you got the T3 moving averages, lowest time frame, and as we saw, let's get it back to the 10-tick. There we go. And so you have your 534, your 5144, and your 2 higher time frames to accompany you in the trade. So a nice way of implementing it that we just did last week. So if you're interested in that, Trading Room members, that is available on the share drive for you. For those of you who are not members and are interested in that, nothing like taking 2 higher time frames and implementing those moving averages onto your main chart. One of the features here on Sierra Charts. All right, let's take a look at the daily big pick as we see price action rebounded today off the A2 low there on Friday up to the T3. And again, it's nice to have those moving averages on the chart like I just showed you. I'm looking at the 144 and the 50, and so let me show you that. It's right there on the chart. 4-hour charts, there it is, 4-hour 50, 4-hour 144. So it gives me a spectrum of where we are on the bigger picture. Got to still go with the momentum downside on the NQ as price action just on a pullback to keep moving averages until price action is going to get back above the T350. I'm with the downtrend on all 3 indices across with great volume today as we lifted into the month of September. Looking at the crude, again, price action still 50 above 144. I'm still going with the long side on the CL's price action holding above the 50 above the 144. Nothing more than a pullback here last session. Price action back upside, but again, a little caution here as the T310 on a 4-hour chart is still in a downtrend. So a little bit of caution, but again, I'm going with the momentum to the upside. Same picture here on the gold. T3 moving averages are still upside with a pullback, but we found support today in the market. But I got to go with the bonds to the downside as we still hold in the gap, and we tried to bounce back upside last week, but no luck. A little bit of a pullback. It's going to take a little bit of resistance here at the 50 EMA. And then our last 3, as we see price action again pulling back upside on the EMD, price action on the 4-hour chart, a pullback, but I have to go with the momentum still to the downside as I have a red color background. Still inside the gap on the gold, and as we saw on the gold here on the multiple moving averages today on the chart, just like we had here on the multiple time frames, a lot of the moving averages consolidated here inside the 4-hour chart. We got the daily chart, we got the intraday charts all in a mush here, and so gold hardly getting a run today, and so I'd hold off, but I got to go with the momentum still to the upside, 50 above 144. Still on a pullback here on the T310, but again, momentum still holding upside, especially that we're holding above the 50 and the 200. Bonds, again, a little bit more challenging as we saw the bonds on the intraday chart with a little bit of lift. Oh, not bonds. I'm sorry. The 6J here on the yen. It's got to still go with the downside because 50 below 144. But I like the pullback off the T350. So I'm looking at maybe a correction here on the yen as we're starting to hold above the 50. But a lot of sideways action. Still can't make up indecision here, but I got to go with more of the momentum starting to pick up to the upside. If we find support off a major moving average here on a 4-hour chart, and we got both intraday, short-term T310 and T35 upside, I like to go with the momentum starting to shift, but until I find the crossover, I still got to sit with the downside. All right, heading into next week, or not as we head into tomorrow, not next week, price action here on the markets. Here we are, a little bit of econ data tomorrow. Watch those Fed speakers as they talk, but any Red Star event you always have to be cautious of. That can move the market a little bit, but it seems when those Fed speakers speak, they really move the market. Quad witching on Friday as we head into next week, Federal Reserve. All right, that concludes insight into the daily trend and some of our charts. Feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My trading mantra, one simple strategy, any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. You can find me every day on Twitter at TradingFibs, and as always, I leave the crystal ball to the experts. I only trade what's in front of me and on my charts, and as always, leave your bias at the door when trading. Hey guys, have yourselves a Blue Zone day wherever you may be. What a start to the week. We'll just see where it goes from here. Always looking for 1 to 2 solid setups. We got more than we expected today. Hey guys, good day, good night, and good trading to you.